Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button. I've just realized we need to update this today. We are talking about the crypto stocks. We are talking about the Bitcoin ETF, and we've got some more general crypto news there today as well. So make sure to stay tuned on this one. It is finally the 3rd of January, which is a big date for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency this year. Today is potentially the day where we see Bitcoin ETFs being accepted by the SEC. We will be talking about this in a little bit more detail, so make sure to stay tuned until the very end. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, very much appreciate it, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've already got 18 people on today's stream. Please don't forget to like. We're on 6 likes so far. Let's set a like goal today. Let's try and get to 35 likes by the end of today's stream. And by the way, yesterday's stream performed amazingly, so make sure to do the same again and interact with the stream as much as possible. Let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin now, though. Bitcoin is down slightly. We are looking at a $44,550 Bitcoin, down to about 2.15% within the last 24 hours. We've seen worse. Nothing to really be concerned about at this point in time. With Ethereum, we are looking at $2,340, down again 2.41%, just marginally down after a nice big rally yesterday morning. Nothing I'm too concerned about right now. If we take a look at some of the altcoins, you can see they are in the red slightly, but we did see that massive pump yesterday morning. So it is kind of expected that, yes, we've seen this nice big pump, maybe a little bit of a pullback is needed, and we are now waiting on this news today. So today is supposed to be the day where we find out about these spot Bitcoin ETFs. It's not certain it's today. The actual deadline is on the 10th. But we have loads of news today where we are going to discuss what's going on here, because things are heating up and things are looking interesting. If we take a look at the biggest gainers and losers for the day, we can see Makers up there at 13%. I think this was in the losers yesterday, so that's a nice twist there. We've got ICP, which I also believe was in the losers for yesterday's stream. And we've got Arbitrum and Lido all up between... Well, Lido's only up 3%, but we've got Maker up 13%, which is a nice move. In terms of biggest losers, we've got Binary X has taken a huge tumble there. Let's take a look at this. This was all the way up at 0.38. It is now down at 0.3. In the last 24 hours, there has been some movements here. So it has taken a bit of a tumble there. What else have we got here? We've got USDN, we've got Stacks, and we've got Solana down 9% as well. Now, this is interesting because Solana has been the topic of conversation for the last couple of weeks. Solana has performed incredibly in 2023, and there's a lot of people excited about what's to come for the network in 2024. We've seen many projects built on Solana perform very well in the last couple of weeks as well, and that has created some hype and excitement. Now, Solana has topped out so far at $126 for this rally. It was higher than this in the previous bull market, I believe. Yeah, we reached a high of $260 in the previous bull market, but Solana is now trading at $105, so we have seen quite the decline since that $125 high. That's not to say that Solana is dead or anything, but I'm saying this looks like an opportunity. I'm looking at the markets right now. Nothing is financial advice, but I'm looking at dips as opportunities. We are currently in a period of time where the markets have been moving to the upside significantly. And as I was saying in yesterday's stream, when we have price action like this, in a bear market, you usually get confirmation bounces, you use levels of resistance as support, and you get some nice trading patterns. In a bull market, you don't always get those opportunities, and sometimes we take that for granted. We expect to get those pullbacks that we want. We expect to get those confirmation bounces that we want, and we don't always get that in a bull market. Sometimes in a bull market, the price just rallies, and that is just it. And if you don't buy in, you miss it. But I'm not trying to install FOMO on you. We do also have tokens that just don't perform as well as we hope so. So we do need to practice proper risk management when it comes to investing in tokens. But a lot of people are super bullish on Solana. I personally don't like buying green. I like to buy red. So when the charts are red, I'm starting to feel greedy. And when the charts are green, I'm starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable and maybe should be looking at selling some assets. You really have to change the way you think when you come into cryptocurrency. If you're coming into cryptocurrency for the first time, it's very common to see investors feel super greedy when the price is moving to the upside and feel super fearful when the price is moving to the downside. But you have to swap that around. You have to turn it on its head. When the markets are red, you need to be feeling greedy, like you want to get hand on those opportunities, and when the markets are green, you need to start feeling fearful and think, I want to profit on this while I can and take some money out of the market. That is proper risk management, and you can learn more about that on the Crypto Saving Expert website. We have some courses about that for you. But let's take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news here and see what's going on. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got a lot to unpack today. First of all, I want to be talking about what happened last year. Just in this one article here, we're going to discuss this because we did do a full 2023 recap on the 1st of January. But we've got this interesting article here which shows that Bitcoin's year-end analysis reveals robust growth and resilient investment behavior, according to Crypto Slate Alpha Snapshot. So what we're seeing here is Bitcoin has been around for a while now. It's been around for a number of cycles. We've seen, how many cycles have we seen? 3 or 4? I should really know that fact, but I don't. Let's pull up Bitcoin's chart and we'll go all the way back. I believe this is the 4th cycle incoming, but let's just confirm that on the charts here. So I'll pull this up. You can see if we go to the monthly chart on Bitstamp, this dates all the way back to the start of Bitcoin. We've had 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th cycle. I am correct. And what we can see here is people understand this pattern now. We understand the 4-year cycles. We understand the effects of a Bitcoin halving. So people are looking at the bear markets more as opportunities, and that information is becoming more widespread. And maybe after the second bull market, there wasn't much confidence in it. Something's happened twice doesn't mean it's going to happen a 3rd time. Just the same as something's happened 3 times doesn't mean it's going to happen a 4th time. But you can get more confidence as the patterns repeat. The more 4-year cycles we have, the more confidence there will be in the markets and the more people that will be looking to invest during a bearish period. If you can see that these 4-year cycles are going on and on and on, as they go on and on and on, more people are going to be paying interest in those bear markets and trying to take advantage of that opportunity. Now we are seeing here that is exactly what's been happening when it comes to on-chain data. You can see this is something we actually discussed in yesterday's stream. Welcome to this month's Crypto Alpha Snapshot. You can see that more people are buying Bitcoin and putting it in cold storage and holding it for the long term. We've seen when it comes to on-chain wallets that people are putting their Bitcoin into their wallets and not moving it. We have seen one of the highest rates of wallets that have not been touched in years, in 10 years, in 5 years, in 1 year. And we're seeing more wallets than ever actually holding a balance. So we are seeing people buying Bitcoin for the long term, and seeing that in a bear market or right at the start of a bull market is super bullish. That is a really positive thing for the markets, and it really shows the growth and resilience in investment behavior when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which is just brilliant to see. What we don't like to see in the markets is a huge amount of the price. Sometimes in a bull market, at the top of the bull market, we can see the price being supported by a huge amount of leverage, and we don't necessarily want that. But to see investor confidence, to see the number of wallets holding Bitcoin increasing, to see the number of wallets holding Bitcoin that's not been touched in a year is increasing, and in 5 years is increasing, and in 10 years is increasing. So it's all super positive that we are seeing when it comes to the markets and investor resilience right now. Let's take a look at what's going on in the next article here, because I want to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency related stocks here. Let's take a look at this. Michael says, hello, you talk really funny, haha. Is that my accent? Let's take a look at what else is in here. Hi, Bike Man. Hello, Jason Smith, talking about the 4-year cycles here, all the way from Australia. We've got Jason Markwell this morning as well. What else have we got here? Rob is in the chat this morning, and PG. Thank you very much for all tuning in once again. I appreciate it every single day. Let's take a look at here. Jason Smith says, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And that's what we've seen in the market so far. When it comes to the 4-year cycles, we've seen that super bullish period and then that bearish period. And we are seeing that all over again. And hopefully 2024 does see something similar take place. But we have some really exciting news coming in with the Bitcoin ETF. So we have seen here, first of all, let's pull up these. I want to talk about the Bitcoin stocks, and then we'll get onto the BlackRock ETF. So what we've seen so far is Coinbase has led crypto stock sell-off despite Bitcoin hitting $45,000. So Coinbase is a cryptocurrency related stock. It's the public stock for Coinbase, the centralized cryptocurrency exchange. And they've been selling some of their crypto related stock despite Bitcoin hitting $45,000. Now, this is absolutely fine. If you take a look at this company, they will be taking profits here. Coinbase closed the day at $156, a drop of 9% in the first trading day of the year. The decline continued Friday's trend, driven by investors cashing in after a nearly five-fold increase in the stock's value throughout 2023. Now, this is something I want to highlight here because when it comes to stocks, coin stock, let's search that. When it comes to cryptocurrency related stocks, it's really interesting when you look at these things because in a bear market, these are huge opportunities. If you take a look at what happened in 2023, Coinbase stock rose from $37.70 all the way up to $186. Now that is a bigger gain than Bitcoin, and that is a huge opportunity, and it's clearly a huge opportunity, and you can clearly tell if Bitcoin goes up and the cryptocurrency markets go up and the transactions increase, Coinbase is going to benefit from that. They have users signing up, making transactions, paying transaction fees, and improving and giving Coinbase users. And the amount of users they have will really help push the company forward and increase the stock price. So you can see that as a clear partnership there between the cryptocurrency markets and cryptocurrency related stocks like centralized exchanges, like mining companies. But investing in a cryptocurrency related company is often seen as a bigger risk, and therefore it has that bigger risk, bigger reward play when it comes to investing. But I think it's a really interesting opportunity. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't take a look at this closer during the bearish period. I think if we get into the bear market, this is definitely something I'm going to be looking at closer, because during the depth of the bear market, yes, we've seen a couple of altcoins perform really well within the last couple of months, but we haven't really seen altcoins pop off. The majority of altcoins pop off like we've seen cryptocurrency related stocks pop off in the first section of the cycles. And what I always like to look at is how things perform at separate parts of the cycles. I don't want to just look at the Bitcoin halving and go, yep, time for a bull market, I'm going to invest in everything. That's not how I use my portfolio to get its full advantage out of it. What I like to do is split the bull market into sections and say, look, at the very start of the bull market, what performs best? Typically, that's Bitcoin, and that's what I've chose to hold for the very beginning of this bull market, and it's paid off really well. Bitcoin was at $16,000, it's now at $45,000. There's a huge increase, and during that period of time, altcoins are a bigger risk. So that was a nice opportunity, but now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, next time we do get a bear market, maybe cryptocurrency related stocks should come before the Bitcoin investments, before the large cap investments, before the mid cap investments, before the low cap investments, because that's just the shift we usually see. We usually see Bitcoin pop, then large cap coins pop, then mid cap coins pop, and then low cap coins pop, and that's when we get those 100x's over and over again. Now obviously that's just a general trend. We do have some tokens that just go absolutely insane at random points in the market, but that's the general trend there. And I think in the next bear market, what I want to be including in that kind of shift is cryptocurrency related stocks as well, but they are bigger risks. During bear markets, we see mining companies unfortunately have to file for bankruptcy, so they do have that bigger risk associated to them. But I think there's a massive opportunity here, and definitely something I wish I was looking at a little bit closer. But let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here, because we are actually seeing a huge move to the upside here for cryptocurrency stocks still continuously here. So we've got Bitcoin's rise to $45,000 propels crypto stocks to robust year opening. Bitcoin's price rallied above $45,000 for the first time since March 2022. Major crypto-centric firms are off to a robust start in the new year, marked by significant market trading upticks in their shares amid Bitcoin's rally above $45,000. Now, I did actually see an article this morning. Let me see if I can find this. MicroStrategy's unrealized gains. I think actually I'll be able to find it here. MicroStrategy's unrealized gains right now, having invested throughout this period of time, since the top of the previous bull market, they've been investing continuously, dollar cost averaging in no matter the price. They are now in an unrealized profit. So they've bought Bitcoin and made a profit of $2.65 billion. That is absolutely insane. Now, granted, they've put a huge amount of money in the market, but they have not changed their focus. Their focus has been dollar cost average into Bitcoin and do not change that strategy. And it is now paying off incredibly. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here today, though. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We are about to speak about those Bitcoin ETFs, the things we are all super excited about. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button. We've got 30 people viewing right now and only 14 likes with a like goal of 35 likes for today's stream. So make sure to help us with that. We want 2024 to be the year we get 100,000 subscribers here. So we get one of those lovely plaques from YouTube. Let's take a look at what's going on when it comes to the spot Bitcoin ETFs. There's been a lot of excitement here. I don't know what's going on with my crypto slate. They've put this new box here and it keeps covering the articles. Let's take a look what's going on here. Bitcoin's rise to $45,000 propels crypto stocks to robust year opening. Bitcoin's price rallied above $45,000 for the first time today since March 2022. We've just discussed that one. What we want to discuss here is BlackRock ETF leak triggers Bitcoin price surge past $45,000 after Goldman Sachs issues huge 2024 Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and crypto prediction. Now let's take a look at this a little bit closer. What we are seeing here is the potential for a spot Bitcoin ETF to be accepted this week. Now, if we take a look at how an ETF is created, a company basically says to the SEC, I want to create an ETF, and then the SEC have 4 deadlines by which they can choose whether to accept, reject, or delay the response for that ETF application. But when we reach the 4th deadline, you need to have an answer. Now, the 4th deadline for the majority of these ETFs is actually on the 15th and 16th of March, but we have one ETF which has a final deadline for the SEC of the 10th of January. Now that is approaching very, very quickly, and if one of these ETFs gets approved, we can see a wave of ETFs heading our way, and that would be huge for the cryptocurrency markets for reasons that I will discuss in just a second. But we are expecting simultaneous acceptance of these ETFs as well. So when we say we have one deadline on the 10th of January, what we could expect is acceptance of all of these ETFs at once. Now, it's not set in stone that these ETFs will be accepted. The SEC do still have the opportunity to decline the applications for ETFs, but it is highly anticipated that they will get accepted. If you take a look at what's happened previously when it comes to ETF applications, Grayscale made an ETF application, the SEC declined it, and Grayscale actually took them to the courts and said, the reason you've not accepted this ETF is not valid. And Grayscale won. The SEC lost. So what the SEC does not want to see here is they don't want to reject an ETF, end up in another lawsuit and lose again, because they're just losing their credibility every single time that happens. So we're all expecting right now that the Bitcoin ETFs will be accepted. We may be shocked, it's not set in stone, but that is the kind of what's going on in the markets right now. That is what is expected. Now, when it comes to these ETFs, as I said, it is expected that we'll see simultaneous acceptance. It's unlikely that we see the acceptance of ARC21 shares ETF on the 10th of January, and then we see the rest of them on the 15th of March. If the SEC are accepting these ETFs, I imagine they're going to accept the majority of them in bulk. All of these companies have been working very hard to make these ETF filings exactly how the SEC want them. They've had meetings with the SEC over the last couple of weeks, trying to get it all in order. They've had discussions over how they should manage the underlying Bitcoin in these assets, making sure that they have the models just as the SEC want them, because essentially there's 2 types of ETFs we can have in the markets. You can have an ETF where it's possible to swap between the underlying assets, so in our case Bitcoin, and the ETF stock, just 1 for 1. But the SEC have said we don't want this kind of model for Bitcoin ETFs. They've said we want the model where you have an in-cash model, so you go from Bitcoin to cash to the ETF stock, and then back to cash, and then back to Bitcoin, and you can't have that swap between just Bitcoin and the ETF stock. So that's the differences that have been been discussed in the last couple of weeks when the SEC are having these talks with the ETF applicators. But it's all in order. They're having conversations with the SEC. They're amending them as quick as possible. They're refiling their application with a little bit more detail, just as the SEC wants them. They're all doing everything they can to get their ETFs over the line. Now, why are ETFs beneficial for the cryptocurrency markets? Well, we could go on a huge rant here. I'm trying to not repeat myself from yesterday's stream. If you didn't watch yesterday's stream, I definitely recommend going and watching it. I did go on a huge rant about Bitcoin ETFs yesterday, but the benefits a Bitcoin ETF brings to the cryptocurrency market is that we have a huge opportunity for retail investors to enter the markets here. In a bull market, so many people decide they want to get exposure to the cryptocurrency space. If you're in the markets now, you've probably been in crypto throughout a bull market before. In a bull market, if you're in crypto, people will ask you how they can also get involved. I've had so many friends approach me and say, how can I get into cryptocurrency? And that will happen every single time we see a bull market. There's new money entering the market, and that's where we see all the opportunities. But this time we have a slight problem because people have a lack of confidence in centralized exchanges after what happened with FTX and that all being publicized on mainstream media. So a lot of people will be a lot more cautious about putting their money into centralized exchanges. And with that fear, they may be a little bit more hesitant to invest in cryptocurrency by just buying the asset. So with an ETF opportunity, that's a better way for some people to get involved in the space. During a bull market, when people want to get into crypto, they often think they're too late to the markets, and they often think they don't have the time or knowledge to understand what's going on in crypto because they just want to get in now. So they need that easy access to the space. And that's why a spot Bitcoin ETF could bring a huge wave of adoption when it comes to retail investors, because these people that would usually just say, do you know what, I've not got time to learn, I don't know what centralized exchange to use, I don't know what self-custody is, can just go and invest in the ETF, and it really is that simple. So there's a huge opportunity there for those retail investors that may have not got in previously to still get exposure to the Bitcoin price. And that means if they're investing into the ETF issuer needs to buy the Bitcoin, and we still see the demand when it comes to the Bitcoin price. So there's a huge opportunity there for retail investors. We also have the opportunity for institutional investors as well. So institutional investors might just decide to throw a huge lump sum of cash at a spot Bitcoin ETF. So they have that exposure to the markets, especially when we have companies like BlackRock, Fidelity, and VanEck creating spot Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of companies and investors follow these massive companies. If they're investing into it, I want to invest into it too. It's really that simple. BlackRock investing in the opportunity to get exposure to the cryptocurrency space changes so many people's opinions. BlackRock previously said Bitcoin was an index for money laundering. The CEO said that a couple of years ago. He's now saying Bitcoin is an international asset and is like digital gold. He's completely changed his view. And if he can change his view, people are going to be asking why. People are going to be asking questions and saying, maybe what I've thought about this has been wrong for the whole time too. Maybe I should be doing more research into this. Maybe I should be getting some exposure to this. There's a huge opportunity here for institutional investors to throw money at the wall and see what happens here. There is a big opportunity there. Somebody says in the chat that the live stream is crashing slightly, so they can't understand what I'm saying here. Hopefully the signal's not too bad. I have changed how I'm streaming today, so this might be the issue. I will go back to the normal format tomorrow, but let me know in the chat if this is a problem for anybody else. Before we continue, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday where we talk about what's going on in the markets. I do cryptocurrency every single minute of every single day, 24/7. And I put all of that information into a half-hour to an hour video for you all to teach you what I've learned within the last 24 hours and just make it a lot simpler, because in a bull market, there's so much to learn and stay up to date on. It's so hard to keep engaged in everything that's happening. So I just put it all into half an hour for you and present it here. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. Somebody in the chat says Bitcoin is crashing. Let's take a look at this. Bitcoin is currently at $43,800 here. It is significantly moving to the downside here. Let's see if we've got any news coming in right now. I can't see anything of value there. Let's take a look at the crypto news. Let's pull this up and see what's happening. What we've got here is let's take a look at this. What have we got? Any breaking news coming in? I can't see any breaking news as to why this is happening. We will stay up to date on that. They will continue to refresh that page as we continue through this live stream. If we take a look at the price of Bitcoin here, it does have some levels of support that we can be looking at in this period of time. Really interesting that this has chosen to take a move down here. I wonder if this will hold. I wonder if this is just a massive spike of opportunity here, or we are crashing to the downside. Let's keep an eye on this very, very closely there. So this is the previous level. If we go to the half-hour chart, this is the previous level of resistance. Maybe this will be used as a support. We will keep a close eye on this and see how this plays out. But let's continue on with the spot Bitcoin ETF. So although Bitcoin ETFs are super bullish, we've got retail investment opportunity, institutional investment opportunity, and we have obviously the companies that are providing these ETFs to the markets, talking and advertising and marketing Bitcoin. There's a huge opportunity to be had there. Let's take a look at what else we've got here in the news. Grayscale files amended Bitcoin ETF application amidst details of AP and fee structure. So they are all amending their Bitcoin ETF applications, as I've just said, to try and fit with what the SEC want so they can get those applications approved. All of these companies know now there is a first mover advantage when it comes to a spot Bitcoin ETF. They don't want to be left behind. They want to do exactly what the SEC is saying when they are having those meetings so that they can be in that first batch of accepted ETF products. Let's take a look at what's going on. Other than this though, Jim Cramer has flipped bullish on Bitcoin. Really interesting here. A lot of people counter trade this guy. Normally super bearish, normally telling you to sell your Bitcoin at the bottom of the bear market. And he's completely changed his stance on Bitcoin and is now recommending investors to gain exposure of the flagship digital asset. If you had a picture of the market and you saw every single time he said to sell, you would be shocked at how much he is wrong on this asset. We can see here he said the digital asset is a technological marvel here. It's Bitcoin a reality? It's a technical marvel. I think people have started recognizing that it's here to stay. So although it's had a low point at $17,000 during one of the longest bear markets, Kramer said that Bitcoin's remarkable recovery was unexpected, but it has shown you it can't kill it. So it's turned super bullish on the asset here. We've also got SEI has climbed 22% to hit new all-time high after lackluster launch. We've got Osmosis hits $1 billion in monthly volume as interest in Cosmos surges. We've got OKX will test UK customers to comply with FCA promotional rules. And we've got crypto tax rules now require reporting of transactions over $10,000. A couple of news stories to finish off here. Mickey Mouse's copyright has expired for the first versions of the Mickey Mouse cartoon. So people have been taking those images and creating NFTs with them, and they have soared when you take a look at OpenSea, which is an NFT marketplace. You can see here that the first one that was at the leaderboard here, Steamboat Willie, has seen a floor price of 0.1 ETH and a 24-hour volume of 166 ETH, which is $400,000. And we've got some other versions here that have pretty high volumes there as well, with the second one having volumes of $1.1 million in 24 hours. So it's a huge amount of volume there. We were discussing this in Crypto Saving Expert prior to the copyright rules ending. They had copyright for 97 years, I believe, 95-year copyright law, and that came to an end, and then people have seen that as an opportunity to create some NFTs out of it. Interesting opportunity there. NFT sales on Bitcoin tops $881 million in December, made a record high last month. We spoke about these a lot yesterday, not something that I'm a huge fan of, and we've got the 15th anniversary of Bitcoin's Genesis blocks. That's the first Bitcoin block ever created. It was created on the 3rd of January 2020. It was created on the 3rd of January 2009, where Satoshi Nakamoto mined the Genesis block on Bitcoin, and the rest is history. Now let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin here. It is sinking in the markets right now. If we go to the overall price markets, if you are wanting to check the latest price of your favorite assets, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. It's the best cryptocurrency website out there. What you can see here in the markets is Bitcoin is taking a tumble to the downside on what is seen to be such a bullish day. Now, we can't see too much news right now about why this is happening, but what I'm going to do is take a look at the price chart here and see if we can get some clear answers right now. The Bitcoin price has moved to the downside. I'm looking at a level of support at $42,240, but anything is possible right now. Let's refresh that page and see if we can get any updates here on why Bitcoin may be moving to the downside here. I don't think this is a news related crash. I think we would have seen some news about this much sooner had there been breaking news here. This crash is just kind of Bitcoin's price doing a Bitcoin's price thing by the looks of things. No news coming out as to why, and it has been a couple of minutes now. So I will just be taking a look closely at some technical analysis, seeing what's going on here. Maybe a liquidation event, or maybe we will be looking at some people being very cautious. As I've said before, I'm very cautious about what's happening around this ETF because a lot of people have been trying to front run this opportunity and investing in Bitcoin prior to the acceptance of an ETF. So Bitcoin is going to be incredibly volatile today and on the 10th and every day in between. We are going to see so much volatility in the markets because people are trying to front run this opportunity. They may get fearful, they may get greedy. We're just going to see that volatility there, and we are going to see increased trading volumes, I believe. But that is all we really have for today's stream. Here we go. Bitcoin fell by 2.11% in 5 minutes. What else have we seen here? I don't think there's too much on, but we'll keep a close eye on this. If there is any news updates, we will be posting it on our Twitter at CryptoSavingExp. So make sure to go over there and check that out. But that's all we have for today's stream. So thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all next time on another cryptocurrency news update. 11 a.m. tomorrow. UK time. That's the next stream. See you all then. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the stream and comment below. Goodbye.